Life in the Digital Age, discussing the impact of technology on our daily lives.
In today's digital age, technology is more pervasive than ever. From the smartphones in our pockets to the algorithms that shape our online experiences, technology is playing a crucial role in shaping our world. On the Digital Pulse episode, we'll explore the exciting and often challenging ways technology is transforming our lives. Joining me are two experts in the field, Dr. Rachel Kim, a sociologist who studies the impact of technology on human behavior, and Jamie Chen, a tech entrepreneur who's developed several innovative digital products. Welcome both of you to the show. Let's start with the basics. How has technology changed our daily lives over the past few decades?
Well, the rise of the internet, smartphones, and social media has fundamentally altered how we interact, work, and even think. We're constantly connected, and our lives are now intertwined with digital devices. On average, we check our phones over 150 times a day and spend more time online than we do sleeping.
That's right. The digital revolution has created new opportunities for communication, collaboration, and access to information. But it's also created new challenges like social isolation, decreased attention span, and blurred boundaries between work and personal life.
That's a great point. The concept of work-life balance has become increasingly complex in the digital age. How do you think technology has affected our relationships and social interactions?
Research suggests that excessive screen time can lead to decreased empathy, reduced face-to-face communication skills, and even increased rates of depression and anxiety. On the other hand, technology has also enabled us to connect with people across the globe, fostering global communities and social movements.
I think it's essential to acknowledge that technology is a tool, and how we use it determines its impact. For example, social media can be a powerful platform for social change, but it can also be a breeding ground for misinformation and echo chambers.
Let's talk about the mental health implications of digital life. How has technology affected our mental well-being?
Studies have shown that excessive screen time is linked to increased symptoms of depression, anxiety, and loneliness. The constant stream of information can create a perpetual state of hypervigilance, making it difficult for our brains to relax and recharge. This can lead to increased stress levels, decreased sleep quality, and a weakened immune system.
That's right. And it's not just the amount of screen time that's the issue, but also the type of content we're consuming. Social media, in particular, can be a breeding ground for comparison and competition, which can erode our self-esteem and body image.
That's a great point. The curated highlight reels on social media can create unrealistic expectations and make us feel like we're not measuring up. How do you think we can mitigate the negative effects of social media on our mental health?
I think it's essential to take a step back and recognize that social media is not a reflection of reality. We need to be more mindful of the content we consume and the way we present ourselves online. It's also crucial to engage in offline activities that bring us joy and fulfillment, such as exercise, reading, or spending time with loved ones.
Absolutely. And it's also important to set boundaries around our social media use. We should limit our screen time, especially before bed, and take breaks from social media throughout the day. We should also prioritize face-to-face interactions and engage in activities that promote social connection and community building.
That's great advice. What about the role of technology in promoting mental health? Are there any digital tools or platforms that can help improve our mental well-being?
Yes, several digital tools and platforms can be beneficial for mental health. For example, meditation and mindfulness apps like Headspace and Calm can help reduce stress and anxiety. Online therapy platforms like BetterHelp and Talkspace can provide access to mental health professionals and support. And social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook can be used to connect with others and build community, as long as we're using them in a way that promotes positive interactions.
I agree. Technology can be a powerful tool for promoting mental health, but it's essential to use it in a way that's intentional and mindful. We need to be aware of the potential risks and benefits of digital tools and use them in a way that supports our overall well-being.
That's a great point. As we move forward, what do you think is the most important thing for people to remember? What about the role of social media in shaping our self-esteem and body image?
Social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook have created unrealistic beauty standards, perpetuating the idea that we need to present a perfect online persona. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, and body dissatisfaction.
Additionally, the constant comparison and competition on social media can create a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out, and anxiety. People feel pressure to present a curated version of their lives, which can be exhausting and damaging to mental health.
Interestingly, you mentioned the concept of a curated online persona. How do you think this affects our relationships and sense of authenticity?
I think it's essential to recognize that social media is a highlight reel, and people often present a sanitized version of their lives. This can create unrealistic expectations and make it difficult to form genuine connections with others. We need to be more mindful of the online personas we present and strive for authenticity in our relationships.
Absolutely. Authenticity is crucial in building meaningful relationships. We need to prioritize face-to-face interactions, engage in activities that bring us joy, and practice self-compassion to mitigate the negative effects of digital life.
As we look to the future, what trends do you see emerging in the world of digital life?
I think we'll see a continued shift towards virtual and augmented reality, which will change the way we interact with information and each other. We'll also see more emphasis on digital wellness, with companies and governments investing in initiatives that promote healthy technology use.
I agree. The future of digital life will be shaped by the intersection of technology, psychology, and sociology. We'll need to develop a more nuanced understanding of how technology affects human behavior and develop strategies to mitigate its negative effects.
That's a great point. As we conclude, what advice would you give to our listeners on how to navigate the complexities of digital life?
I would encourage people to be mindful of their technology use, set boundaries, and prioritize face-to-face interactions. We need to find a balance between the benefits of technology and the need for human connection.
I would add that it's essential to be aware of the potential risks and benefits of technology and to use it in a way that promotes our well-being. This means being intentional about our screen time, taking breaks from technology, and engaging in activities that bring us joy and fulfillment.
And finally, I would encourage people to think critically about the technology they use and the companies that create it. We need to demand more transparency and accountability from tech companies and hold them to higher standards of responsibility.
Thank you, Jamie and Rachel, for sharing your insights on the impact of technology on our daily lives. It's clear that the digital age presents both opportunities and challenges, and it's up to us to navigate these complexities thoughtfully. As we wrap up this episode, I want to leave our listeners with some final thoughts. What do you think is the most pressing issue facing us in the digital age, and how can we work together to address it?
I think one of the most pressing issues is the erosion of attention span and the impact of social media on our mental health. We need to find ways to promote healthy technology use and encourage people to engage in activities that promote cognitive development and emotional well-being.
I agree. We also need to address the issue of digital inequality, where certain groups are left behind due to a lack of access to technology or digital literacy. We need to work towards creating a more inclusive and equitable digital landscape.
Those are excellent points. As we conclude, I want to thank our listeners for tuning into this episode of The Digital Pulse. Thanks again to Dr. Rachel Kim and Jamie Chen for joining me on this episode. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay connected.